with Roti Hat, motivation for the life. මම කැමති මේ ජීවිතේ හුඟ දෙනෙකුට ගොඩාක් අමාරු අවස්ථාවක ගොඩාක් අමාරු decisions ගන්න සිද්ධ වෙන වෙලාවල් තියෙනවා. ඔබටත් තියෙන්න ඇති එහෙම ජීවිතේ හිර වෙච්ච අවස්ථාව, අමාරුම decision එකක් ගන්න වෙච්ච අවස්ථාව. මම කැමති දැනගන්න මේ ස්ටෝරි එක. කොහොමද එහෙම උනේ? ඒ වගේම ඔබේ පිළිතුරට කලින් අපේ දාම් ගේම් එකකුත් තියෙනවා අද අදින්න. ඉතින් මම මුලින්ම ඕපන් කරනවා ගේම් එක. ඔයාලත් ඕපන් ස්ටෝරි එකක් තියන්න අපිට දැනගන්න ආසයි.
I would like to speak in English. I really understand your question, what you are asking me. So, I grew up in a small village in Kandy, Sri Lanka. So, growing up like that, but we had really, a grateful time with my family, friends, and it was a collective community. There's Muslims, Sinhalese, Tamils. We were community, and my mom used to be a social worker, and my dad, he was overseas most of the time. So growing up in a place like that, we had nothing to worry about. Most of the time we hang out with, go into the forest, playing, jump into the paddy field, so we had a good time. And then, life, takes from when you start somewhere, it takes you a place where you end up somewhere and think, you reflect at yourself and think, oh man, what is this life doing to me? I was one time at a stage there here in New Zealand, which I never thought about, which I never had an experience about. I reflect to myself and think, oh man, I'm in a big thing right now. How do I find a way out of this?
Right.
So thinking of things and dealing with stress, and there was nobody with me to tell my the feelings I have to somebody was really challenging. And the most important challenge I had was my immigration.
Right.
So which I had to overstay in New Zealand for more than close to 7 years. So it was the toughest time, things from when you're coming from Sri Lanka to a place where, things are different. So not everybody handles the situation in the same way where, you come here from Sri Lanka, or we go to another country apart from New Zealand, we think that the grass is always greener on this other side. So if we reflect from, oh man, you look at TV and think, oh, New Zealand is a place you go, you make money. So that's what we think, right?
Yeah.
But you come here, things are different.
People for the reality.
Yeah, man. Honestly, man, I'm talking honest truth, right? It's reality. So you come here, people are different, friends are different. You get to meet new people, and trying to understand who they are, getting to know them, and figuring out yourself in the way to go. You gotta study, you gotta work, you gotta keep up with every single thing.
Yes.
But do you think everybody handles the same thing, same way? No.
I don't think so.
So I don't think so. I personally, I went through the same thing like every other person goes through, but majority goes through that. So, like I said to you, I became an overstayer for, I couldn't get my visa extension and things like that. And then, I was asking for help from other people. I didn't get any sort of a help from anybody apart from me figuring out where I stood in life and how to come off it.
Yeah.
So, there's always, I think there's a way to look at things. But, I think you gotta fall to get up. So that's what happened to me,
So what's the most hardest decision then you make? You said that immigration is the hardest decision you ever made?
The hardest decision I made was my mindset.
Mindset.
It was my mindset. I changed my mindset, the way I look at things.
Righty.
So that's the thing I changed in my life.
Good on you.
Nothing is difficult because I mostly motivate myself looking at other people who are motivated themselves. So who have achieved things in their life it doesn't come easy, man.
Correct.
It doesn't come. You got if you want to make $400 in New Zealand, you get up early in the morning. You got to go there and do 8 hours to make $400, right?
You got to commit.
You got a commitment. So not everybody gets that. So we get up early morning and say, oh, I'm going to work, and not everybody enjoys them. They enjoy what they do. So yeah, I was at the same place like that. It took me a while to understand who I was within myself, what are the capabilities I have, you know, what there's a limitless world out there, you know, you gotta keep pushing.
Yes.
Keep pushing. There's obstacles coming through. You knock everything off one by one. So.
But you don't stop.
No, you don't stop because you gotta keep on pushing. So I didn't. Like I said, I never got that. So I'm 35 years old right now. It took me a while for me to get that. So here I am sitting in front of you and I'm talking
joining
to you.
for my
Yes.
checkers game with me.
Yes.
ඉතින් අද අපේ ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එකට අපි ආරාධනා කළා වසීම්ට. වසීම්, we would love to know who's Wazeem. කවුද වසීම් කියන්නේ?
It's a good question, my friend. So Wazeem, you know, I'm a Sri Lankan. You know, I love to be myself. You know, I like to think positive, and I like to spread positiveness around people. And I have a heart for a person who has a good heart for me. And I care for people. And I welcome people with open arms. And you know, I come from my heart. I just don't think there are two types of people I see, right? One person thinks from their head, the other person thinks from their heart. I'd like to think from my heart. I come out as that's what my parents taught me. So growing up as a child in, you know, I'm in Sri Lanka. So we were taught good things about, you know, the culture, how to grow up. You know, me growing up as a Muslim, so you know, it's different to, you know, what other people do. It's different. So that's how I've been raised up as. And then, you know, I believe in my faith, which is since I'm Muslim. But and yeah, pretty much, yeah. So
A simple man with a big heart.
With big heart, because and then like I said, I like to give positivity out there. So here I am.
Good to know, mate. So welcome Wazeem. අපි පුංචි commercial break එකකට ගිහිල්ලා යමු. This is Red Talks with Roti Hat.
Get your living area or office space be professionally cleaned. High standards you can trust for unbeatable pricings for professional and quality services. Trendy Nest.
වසීම්, ඔයා කිව්වා මේ දෙයාකාරයක මිනිස්සු ඉන්නවා කියලා. එක්කෙනෙක් thinking from the brain, other one think from the heart. So you are a hearty character according to you. So මම දැන් කැමති දැනගන්න මිනිස්සු මේකෙන් ඇඩ්වාන්ටේජ් එකක් ගත්තේ නැද්ද? මිනිස්සු ඔයාට ඔයා hearty character එකක් හින්දා ඔයාගෙන් අනවශ්‍ය විදියට මිනිස්සු ප්‍රයෝජන ගත්තේ නැද්ද? But disadvantage එකක් නෙමෙයිද when you are a truly heartiest character? Isn't that a disadvantage sometimes?
It is, but it is a big disadvantage. It is a big disadvantage having a good heart. You're right. So, like I said, I ended up in New Zealand 2012, right? So, I lived in an apartment with 7 guys. So each and every one was different. So I was the oldest out. There was another guy who was the older out of. So we ended up living, and so when I came here, you know, I'm a mature guy. I was, you know, elder than the other one. But even there, I was soft. So paying rent and this, it was challenging, right? And then sometimes, you know, when I have money, I pay the rent for other people, the fellow flatmates. So as time went by, you know, you think of being, you know, you being good, and then you come to a stage where you have nobody in your life. So you turn back and look, where are my friends who I spend money for? Where are the friends who sat and, you know, had drinks with? Where are the
Everybody
friends?
gone.
Where are the friends who had a smoke with? Nobody's there. So you think like, is it good to have a good heart? Yes, right? Is it good to have a good heart for bad people? No.
True.
So then I come to a conclusion where, I normally learn the person. So it took me a while to, adapt to it. So now I have something like a quality person, QP. So I only make friends with good people who has good personality, who has a good vibe in them, and who has positive message, not judging from the way you dress, what you smell, what you wear, what you put. That's what I look at. If the character is good, there you go, my friend. So that's where I stand right now. People take advantages of you. But if somebody, sometimes I give, sometimes a homeless guy comes into my place for a coffee. When I used to work at you give him a coffee, and then sometimes when the person comes like, do you have $4 or $3 or something like that? You know what I mean? So if it's about something like that, so just about it took me a while to realize who I self was and my heart. But now I have a heart, like I say, by heart, open heart for good people with
Yes.
me, not for somebody who
Because
come
you're
and
smart, you know where to stop it. You know the boundary of it.
go. Yeah, it is one thing is the boundary, the other thing is the understanding the overall person.
That's correct. Yes.
So, I had bad experiences myself here because, I having to deal with people and then, like I said to you, I was an overstayer for like 6 odd years.
Yes.
And then, somebody becomes an overstayer or somebody, you ask money from that person, you go there, you are falling debt. For the time being, and I never owed anybody a single dollar, bro. Not even a single. I figured out my own way with having nobody's help to be where I'm at right now talking to you.
Overcome all this, right?
Yeah, I was a homeless for. I slept in a car for like 1.5 years, man.
There you are.
Yeah, it was hard.
So, ඉතින් වසීම්ගේ ස්ටෝරි එක ඇත්තටම පුදුමාකාරයි. ඉතින් we just invited you today because we know that you came a long journey, overcome a lot of challenges in your life.
Yeah.
ඉතින් අද ඔබටම කියලා ව්‍යාපාරයකුත් තියෙනවා. අපි දන්නේ. වසීම්, would you like to share the story with us about your restaurant and all?
Yes, I would love to, bro. So I own a business here called Jazzy's Cafe and Pizzeria, which is in Milford, Auckland.
I think it's the only restaurant, Sri Lankan restaurant
Yes,
in there?
I initially wanted that to be a pizza and a fish and chips takeaway. So
Right.
and then I opened up like 5 minutes before COVID, and then it was everything was good. Everything was going smooth, and everything was operating good. And there comes COVID, right?
True.
So and then when COVID comes along, everybody panicked, and we just businesses shutting down and things like that. And then the business operated by myself, my wife, and I had another working staff. So when COVID comes along, we are subjected to be my wife and myself. We are both of us started working there. So the first month after COVID, when the lockdown was lifted down, so it was challenging, man. It was really challenging. You got to keep up with the shop rent, house bills, insurance, and all this thing. It was just everything, just overloading, right?
That's right.
And then I was just thinking. I was just sitting on my one time. I was just thinking, what should I do? I would go to the shop. We don't have customers. There are times I come out of $40. I go from morning till 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock. At night, I come with $40 a day. $40 a day.
Yeah.
I'm like thinking, what should I do, right? So when I come to a stage where I think like, stressing doesn't take you anywhere, right? And then, I started working out things. So sitting down with my wife, talking to her, getting things, putting away. I'm like, okay, we need to do this. It's just about singling කියන්නේ අල්ලපු බැරේ
බැරේ බැඳගත්තා නම් ගහන්න ඕනේ.
බැඳගත්ත බැරේ ගහන්න ඕනේ කියලා. the same thing, right? Everything is like I said, challenges. Everything is challenging.
is challenging.
You gotta pass your O-levels. You gotta study, man.
Yes.
So everything is challenging. So I did it. So I get up in the morning. I make my head up like, okay, I can do this. I go there, open up, and then I keep going. I don't care about how much I make because that's mine, and that's my hard work. It's my hard work. If anybody lose, it's the spirit, and then also that's my hard work right there, right? All the money what I made here is put there, right? And I just didn't want to give up. With this was going on, just bullies around, right hand side, left hand, there's all these restaurant owners giving me us a hard time. You gotta keep up with your stress.
Yes.
And put up with these two business surrounding competitors.
Around.
You gotta keep up with them as well.
Yes.
Then I started focusing about just ourselves. You know what the mistake we do? The mistake we do in life is that we bring other things into our life, my friend. So unwanted things we think about. Auntie will think like this, uncle will think like this, he will think like that. Why is he thinking like that? If you think of another person's opinion, you're not gonna go anywhere.
Agreed.
Man, you're not gonna go anywhere, right?
You start depending on others' thoughts.
Yeah, the other talk. You depend on yourself. That's why I say you understand who you are, and you have the power to do anything and everything. So that's what I just put the vibe in me, right? And then just vibe, I keep pushing.
Good.
So late nights I'll have my Uber Eats on, right?
Okay.
And then I'll go to home and then wait till the Uber goes. I'll come home, cook pizzas and go on. That's why it took me like from nothing. I've done the business for how many lockdowns I've been.
Yeah, I know.
So around 5 lockdowns, and there's still lockdown going. And then I project my business into different ways, right? So there are different, I see businesses like this, a restaurant business like this. Most of the people forget to understand is that when it comes to a business, they forget the customer. The customer is the person who pays your bill. So I always remembered, because I have a business background back home, right? Because when I see my parents do these things, so you have that vibe in you, right? So I always looked after the customer. I never go for money. I go for the person.
You truly looked after and treated him as the king. We just say, but the reality is different.
True, man.
But you really did it.
Yeah, man. So every customer who comes into our cafe keeps on coming back because of me and my wife. So because of our personality, and we welcome them with the open arms, not for the money the person carries.
It's an honest one, isn't it?
It is. So, and then the food-wise, I take my time and cook proper food. If the customer's not happy, end of the day, here you go, your refund.
There you are.
No, I say no drama with it. So, because, if you look after somebody, in return they look after you. That's
Absolutely.
how. So, because I see the business is feeding the business with my hard work. So by making I say, I'm not trying to say that I'm a successful person in a business or anything like that. I'm still learning.
Yeah.
I'm still, want to learn more.
We all learning, mate.
And then, so we end of the day, you look at things in a different way, and then you try to solve your problems,
day-to-day problems, and
then
carry on.
And then you stretch as much as you can.
That's right.
So that's the spirit I like to have. So here that's why So I'm 2.5 to 3 years now. Yeah, going good.
That's great. That's great to hear. So we are going for a little commercial break again. This is Red Talks with Rotihar.
Do you want to feel the relishing excitement of Sri Lankan spicy cuisines? Now you can dine in or take home the most authentic Sri Lankan dishes. Roti Hut, taking your taste buds to Sri Lanka.
Wazeem, we all know that you are a hardworking person. ඔයාට වෙලාව ඔයා ඇත්තටම මැනේජ් කරගන්න ඕනේ. හුඟක් අමාරුයි මේ ෆැමිලි ලයිෆ් එකයි බිස්නස් වැඩයි ඒ ඔක්කොම බැලන්ස් කරගෙන යන්න ඕනේ. කොහොමද ඔයා මේ බැලන්සින් එක කරන්නේ? How do you just manage the business life and the normal life?
So normally I get up around 7 o'clock. I have a porridge or something, Get my
Okay.
yeah,
That's
get
your
my
breakfast
yeah,
and lunch and
yeah.
everything, or?
Just to keep my I like to be fit.
Yeah.
So one thing I learned over the years is that if you have a healthy body has a healthy mind, right?
Health is your wealth.
Yeah, health is our wealth. So no matter you drink or smoke or sometimes you gotta keep fit. So I do my daily routine, go for a run, or I most of the time do CrossFit and calisthenics exercises, and then sometimes I go to the gym, and then I definitely have a workout, and then drop my daughter off at school, and then my wife, myself, and my wife, we get ready, go get the shopping and everything. So most of the time, I only miss my daughter because she goes to school, and we might have to go and pick her up later on after the evening because we work. So since we are working together, I don't miss my wife much.
True.
She's always there, and then my daughter is with my mother-in-law. She stays as mother-in-law. So and then we close the shop, have a nice feed.
Yeah.
And then, no drama, nothing. We think of ourselves, our collective family. And then I always think of what I can do better the next day. And I'd like to keep my mind working and always have a positive attitude in everything and anything I do.
Yeah.
So that's how I have, I'm just trying to be perfect in that way, because hopefully I continue doing it. So sometimes you end up somewhere and then think, okay, but yeah, so that's what I do normally in the morning, and that's my day. So yeah.
That's great, mate. හොඳයි, අපි අද ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එකේ Red Talks segments කීපයක් තියෙනවා. ඒකේ පළවෙනි segment එක වසීම් අපි ඔබට ලබා දෙනවා බලයක්. මේක වරයක් කියන්න පුළුවන් ඔබට අවශ්‍ය නම් ඔබ අහලා තියෙන විදිහට an executive power. Maybe it will be bigger than the presidential power maybe. That power we will give you to change the world. To make that world is beautiful place. What you think? What are you going to do using that power? What sort of changes would you love to make?
හොඳ ප්‍රශ්නයක් ඔය මගෙන් ඇහුවා. I would like to say I will change the people's mindset, the way they look at things in this world. So, for example, if you look at a thing in a positive way, it's positive, right?
Yeah.
If you look at a thing in a negative way, it's always negative. So there's so many things that this world when people can do, being a collective group, being united, right? For example, I'll tell you about Sri Lanka, right?
Yes.
So we have 3 or 4 races, so we are blended with everything, right? So every time we have a problem, there's a riot, there's this, shops burning, and then people calling each other's name, chaos all around. So our people, they don't have the way of thinking it straight, right? Like I was at a mate's place the other day, and then he asked me this question: Why are you a Muslim? So, I'm a Muslim, right? So we have racism problem back home. So I was telling this guy, so just because I grew up as a Muslim, I'm a Muslim.
Yeah.
So you can't judge me for that, bro.
That's correct.
So just because you are born as a Buddhist, that's how we've been taught, and that's how we grew up. So what I love to say for the people who are right now is change the way of looking, judging other people by their religions. So religion doesn't give you anything, man. That's the faith. Everybody.
That's a personal thing, I believe, isn't it?
And then, so that's one of the things which I think is going around this world, religion and racism. So, there's a lot of things in this world we can do to be, a collective community, being kind one another, and then, living life happy without stress and drama and, war and that and this. There's so many things going on at the moment. Yeah, I don't look up to myself as a big wise person or anything. I'm just telling you what I see around me. I understand, right? So just myself, I'm being myself. I'm one person. I can't do this, but if somebody who listens to this, what I say, and change the way you think, I would really appreciate that. And then the other thing is that, you can solve problems, bro. So it's the way to solve problem, thinking in a positive way and thinking in a good way and being yourself and, coming out like from here. So that's how we should live life. But, we get judged, especially in Sri Lanka. Yeah. We get judged for every single thing we do. We get judged because they are laid back. Because if we be laid back, how can we move a country in front? We can't do that.
True that.
We can never do that. So
you're gonna use that power?
Yeah, man.
Just to change people's mind.
The way they think. The way they think. Be a good neighbor, not a nasty neighbor. Be a good friend, not a nasty friend. So, there's so many things that we can do in this life. You can, we are 35. I don't know. People I see, they are there and they are gone. Sometimes, it might happen to us too.
Yeah.
Because, that's what I see.
Great.
Yeah, so...
We think it's a really good way of thinking. If we give you the power, we wish all the best for you to do that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I'll do that. Yes.
So with that answer, we will move into the second segment. This is called guest advice.
Yeah.
So we would love to know Wazeem's advice for the whole universe, maybe.
Yeah.
For everybody, what's your best advice? Like you already told that with using that power, you're gonna change the world and change people the way they're thinking. We would love to know your advice for anybody. It doesn't matter for a person who's going to start a business or something, but for anybody in general.
In general,
Upadesha.
We come through, like I said, I grew up in a village in Sri Lanka, and then, you study, you come here, and then, you go through different obstacles through your life, and then, I am sitting in front of you. So to get me here where I was, I had to go through a lot of things in a way. Education, get through education, that's a challenge. Then you go find out, that's a challenge. And then you put up with the family and family drama, that's a challenge. And then you apply for studies and you wait for your visa and things like that, that's a challenge. And then you come here and then, you try to find a job and, even that's a challenge. Everything is a challenge. Everything is a challenge. Like I said to you, looking at things in a positive way is the only way to do it, rather than most of the time what we are subject to do is we judge ourselves compared to others, right? So that means let's say we live in a place where we have five flatmates. We think that I don't have a car. Let's say, that guy has a BMW. We judge that person. Why don't I have it? We judge the other person. Why is he dressing like? Why can't he? We judge, and then sometimes we are coming to here and having to go through being a homeless, being an overstay, being like that. I've learned a lot of things, that be happy for what we have, and then never give up on yourself, and then never give up on your dream, what you have. And then excuses, goals doesn't have excuses, right? Goals your goal. If you put an excuse, I'll sleep in for a minute, another, you can't. If you do that, nobody else is gonna go behind except yourself, right?
Right.
So
if we summarize your best advice in general, you would say be positive.
Be positive.
Never give up.
Be positive and keep pushing.
Keep pushing.
And then have a can-do attitude in everything you do.
Yes.
It's I can do it. I can do it, because I wasn't a person like that. I changed maybe 6 years ago or 7 years ago. When I fell down, I had to change the whole character to be out there. So, and then if you can talk, if you have the ability to talk, if you shut up, if you have a mouth which is shut, nobody can hear what you can say. So the other thing is that what I learned is that being a Sri Lankan, right? So we are stuck in one collective community, and then we already know the Sri Lankan culture, right? We have the culture. We know the Sri Lankan culture. I was talking to one of these guys. He's a white person, right? So he said to me, "Why did you come to Sri Lanka? Why didn't you come to New Zealand?" I said, "I came here to study, and I'm blah blah blah." Then who are you with? A Sri Lankan. So at that time, my English wasn't good.
Yeah.
I couldn't speak English at all, right? I
Okay.
studied in an English medium.
Yeah.
And then I said, if you wanna learn the culture and things, you gotta blend with other communities, right?
Absolutely.
So how many Sri Lankans are here, living here for 20 years? They hardly can communicate with other people, man. I've gone through several people like that. So what I did is come out of the, when I felt like hopeless and stressed, and I said, I took my bag, come out, and then I started blending with other
Others.
people.
Yeah.
So with this, right, I learned a lot of things. Who is there for you? Who is not there for you? Who is the next person? And then what are the things bigger, and then what are the possibilities you can get from these people? Yeah. And then, yeah, so...
That's your best advice.
Yes, man.
I think it's a really good advice, Wazeem. We really appreciate that you came and you just accepted our invite to be here with us.
Yeah.
And we love the thoughts. And we all wish you all the best about your restaurant as well. We will mention the name again. It's Jazzy.
It's Jazzy's cafe and pizzeria.
Pizzeria.
So we do pizzas, fish and chips, Sri Lankan meals, Belgian chocolates, breakfast, you name it. I don't say no to any customer who come. I will come in. Well, I'm just like I said, I don't go for money. And anything the customers say, I'm there for you guys.
We already got the credit for that, man. Thank you so much for accepting the invitation for us.
Oh, thank you for having me, guys.
Join us today. අපි ඔබ හිස්සතින් අරින්නේ අපි දන්නවා Red Talks program එකට සාදර අනුග්‍රහය දක්වන්නේ රොටි හත් the authentic Sri Lankan cuisine කිව්වොත් ඔබත් දන්නවා ඔබ restaurant ඕන කෙනෙක් නමුත් රොටි හත් තමයි මෙහි තියෙන authentic restaurant වල නම ගිය තැන. ඉතින් ඔබට මාස දෙකක් පුරාවට දෙන්නෙකුට ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ buffet එක රස විඳින්න voucher එකක් ඔබට ලැබෙනවා. ඉතින් thank you so much Wazeem. We really appreciated that you came here and
thank you so much.
Talk to us.
දැන් ඔයා මේක කියන ගමන් මේක දෙන ගමන් මට ඇවිල්ලා දෙයක් මතක් වෙනවා. ලයිෆ් එක කියන්නේ මේ චෙස් එක වගේ තමයි.
අනිවාර්යයෙන්.
This is the same thing. So every tricky situation, every time we want to take a step in front, you got to think smart, right?
Yes.
You got to move it, precisely and smart.
Yes.
So sometimes we don't do it. We are stuck somewhere. So always think positive and be out there and have a positive vibe.
Yes.
You can do it, guys.
Doesn't matter win or lose.
Win or lose, you
just
live
wanna
life.
Carry on. Yes.
Yeah, don't think about anybody else.
Thank you, Wazeem. We really appreciate your thoughts, mate.
Thank you so much.
See you sometime
Thank you for
again.
having me.
අදට Red Talks නිමයි, but අපේ game එක ඉවර නෑ Wazeem. Let's continue playing the game. See you next time.